Hi, 5th grade. This is Mrs. Kiyoko with your flipped math lesson for today, 5-7. Today's objective is to solve even bigger numbers using two-digit divisors. Here's our first problem. In one season, all of the teams in a basketball league scored 7,832 points. If the season lasted 14 weeks, on average, how many points were scored per week? Well, what are the steps? Do you remember them? They are, number 1, estimate by using compatible numbers. Number 2, divide, and then 3, double check. Let's give it a try. 7,832 divided by 14. I'm going to change 14, the divisor, into a compatible number. I'm going to choose 15. I know that the multiples of 15 are 15, 30, 45, 60, and 75 would be the next one. And then I'm going to change 7,832 to its compatible number. I'm going to only use those first two numbers, and then everything else is going to get turned to a 0. So I'll go ahead and pull down those zeros, and I've got 78 up here. I think 78 is awfully close to 75, so I'm going to change that number to 7,500 divided by 15. Remember, I can divide these two numbers and then tack on the 0, so that's what I'm going to do. 75 divided by 15 is 5. Tack on the zeros, and that's 500. So I know my answer, the estimate, is close to 500. Let's use that to solve our problem. 14 can go into 78 probably 5 times, because remember my estimate was 500, the first digit is 5. So 5 times 14. So over here in the corner I'm going to do 5 times 14. 5 times 4 is 20. So carry the 2. 5 times 1 is 5 plus 2 is 7. 70. Subtract. 78 minus 70 is 8. Pull down the next number, and I have 3. 14 into 83 times. Well, I know that I can do it at least 5 times and get 70. So I just did that. And then 3 minus 0 is 3. 8 minus 7 is 1. Then I pull down the next number, 132. So now I'm going to have to do a little bit more thinking. If I did it 5 times, then that equals 70. If I did it half that many times, how much more would it be? Excuse me, I mean, if I did it twice that many times, how much more would it be? 70 plus 70 is 140. That's pretty close to 132. So it's probably, I mean, it's obviously not going to be 10 times, but it could be 9. So now I'm going to take 14 times 9. 9 times 4 is 36. 9 times 1 is 9 plus 3 more is 12. So I get 126 and subtract. I'm going to have to do over on the side. 12, I'm going to have to borrow, and then 12 minus 6 is 6. Okay, so I have 559 with the remainder of 6. I'm going to double check. Don't forget, I'm going to add that remainder on at the end. 4 times 9 is 36. Carry the 3. 4 times 5 is 20 plus 3 is 23. Carry the 2. 4 times 5 is 20 plus 2 is 22. Okay, now I'm going to do the 1. So that means I'm in the tens place. I put a 0 in the ones place. And I'm going to start multiplying. 1 times 9 is 9. 1 times 5 is 5. And 1 times 5 is 5. I add them all up. 6 plus 0 is 6. 3 plus 9 is 12. 5 plus 2 plus 1 more is 8. And then 5 plus 2 is 7. So I have 7,826. Plus 6 more. So I add that on, I get 12, and then carry the 1. 1 plus 2 is 3, and then 7,832, and that's the same number that we started with in our dividend. Okay, so we got the right answer. Well, today, guys, you get to use a calculator. Since we're using such big numbers, you get to use a calculator. If you don't have your own calculator, you can use a calculator on your computer. In your accessories, when you go to the start menu, then click on accessories, and then you can use the calculator there. You can also use an online calculator or your own personal calculator if you have one. Let's practice. Don't forget, first you're going to estimate, then you're going to divide, and you can use your calculator to divide today, and then double check. However, when you double check, a calculator is going to give you a decimal point and then give you some numbers after the decimal point. Calculators don't give you remainders. So you're going to have to multiply using the decimals. That might be tricky because we haven't learned how to do that yet, but give it a try. Here's our first problem. 1,455 divided by 12. First, we're going to find a compatible number for 12. Good compatible number is 10. Then that'll help us find a good compatible number for 1,455. I know if I just turn that into zeros, I'm going to get 1,400. I can take off a 10, and then I get 140 divided by 1, which equals 140. So I'm guessing my answer is probably going to be really close to 140. Whoops. Alright, so now what you can do is divide using your calculator and see if you get the same, if you get an answer that's close to 140. It's not going to be exactly 140, but it should be close. Okay, so pause the video for just a second and go ahead and find a calculator and do the division problem 1,455 divided by 12 and see what you get. Okay, now I did the multiplication or the division on the calculator and I got 121.25. If you got the answer, then you probably got it right. Here's the next one, 3,189 divided by 23. Let's first find a compatible number for 23 since it's our divisor. And I think a good compatible number would be 20. I know my multiples of 2, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and so on. So I'm going to take 3,189, I'm going to change that to 3,200. Remember, those last two numbers can be changed to 0. Now all you're dealing with are those first two numbers. Okay? And then 32 is a multiple of 2. 3,200. I'm going to take off a 0. Now I get 320 divided by 2. Remember, you can just do the digits that are not 0 first. 32 divided by 2 is 16. And then tack on that 0, 160. So my answer is going to be close to 160. Probably not exact, but it might be close. So we're going to try the division problem. 3,189 divided by 23 with a calculator. Pause the video and then find the answer. Did you get a great big answer for this one? I did. I got 138.652, and then it keeps going and going and going. I'm going to stop right there. The next digit is 1, but if I round it, the bossy neighbor is going to say, well, that 1 is just going to tell the 2 to stay the same. So I'm going to stop with the 2. 138.652 thousandths. All right, your turn. First, you're going to estimate and then divide with the calculator and then double check using multiplication. Here's your problem. 2,264 divided by 27. Pause the video. Alright, so did you change 27 to 20 or 30? I'm going to change it to 30. And then I'm going to change 2,264 to 2,100. Remember, those become zeros, and I'm just dealing with that. Then I can do my division, and now I have 210 divided by 3. 21 divided by 3 is 7, then tack on that 0 on the end. My answer should be close to 70. Okay, I did the calculation, and I got 83.8518. Remember, I'm going to round up to the thousandths place, so that's going to change the 1 to a 2. Okay? 83.852. Let's try one more. 6,214 divided by 59. All right, I'm going to change that 59 to 60. I'm going to change this to 6,000. Then I can do my division here, and I've got 600 divided by 6. That's going to equal 1, silly me, 100. Okay, so my answer should be close to 100. Okay, when I do the division on my calculator, I know my answer is 105.3220. I'm going to round to the thousandths place, so that 2 is going to stay the same. So there's my answer. Alright guys, so that's it for today. Easy peasy, huh? I'll see you later. Bye-bye.